YouTube? It's your boy Josh.
Mia. Did you see how Kelly, she almost jumped out her skin, bro.
And we're back at it again with another video. You know, today's video is going to be a little juicy.
We're going to talk about how we met.
Yeah, man. You know, it's going to be some laughing, some crying, and murder.
For anyone dying this year.
You just going to kill me off, Jesus. All right, so where to start? You want to start it off? You want me to start it off?
No, you start off because you were the one who you reached out first.
All right, so basically, I was it was back in my whole days, so I was like running through females like different one every week, and I know they eventually gonna see this video, but like I hate him, I hate you too, but yeah, I just. Every girl I was with just didn't feel right, didn't feel like it was it. So I'm a firm believer in, like, I don't believe in wasting people's time. So, like, if we don't have the same mentality, same mindset, same goals, there's no point in continuing the talk. So I had just broke up with my girlfriend at the time. And I was dating around, just talking to a whole bunch of different people. That monkey is so distracting, Kinley.
Well, that's the only thing that's keeping her quiet right now.
Jesus, so. Jeez, I need to drink something.
You dropped over there, little boy.
Oh my God, this is.
Ugly ass little boy.
This tastes like booty water. You like this too, ugh.
I do, and I'll drink it, so I'm gonna put it down.
Booty water.
So anyway, like he was saying, he was dating around being a hoe.
Basically, I think she wants camera time. Shout out to her bonnet.
Right. Got
Baby
it on
bonnet.
Amazon. This is not sponsored.
Right. Back to the story. I was scrolling through Facebook, and then I had just accepted a friend request from what was her name?
I don't know. Are you talking about the girl Kayla?
Yeah. So
something like that.
I just accepted a friend request from
Shout
her.
out to you because you're who connected us.
Basically. So I was going through, and it was like, you know how Facebook got like people you may know, and I seen her picture, and I was like, oh my God, she is so pretty. And so I messaged her. I was just like, hey, I think you are so gorgeous. And no response, nothing.
Okay, now
Not
that is
nothing.
definitely a lie because I was at work. He sent me that message and I responded like an hour later or something.
The lies she tell. It was a whole 2 days.
No, it was not.
2 days.
You know what? It might have been. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
not
it
even
was
going.
2 days.
No, first of all, let's
See,
talk about
this how I know it was 2 days because I felt so whole that I deleted the message, so
No,
I was
he
gonna
didn't.
perk like I never sent
And
it.
then we definitely fact checked in our Facebook Messenger, and it definitely.
Oh God, me and my ashy knees.
You put them down.
Sorry.
I don't broadcast my ash.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, at that point, like, he messaged me. I think I was at work or something, but I have my messages where it filters out if we're not friends. So then it said I had, like, a new message request, and I'm like, what? So at this time, I was in a relationship, and before she even see this on YouTube, I'm just gonna let everybody know, yes, I did have a girlfriend at one point.
Freaking.
Okay, no. Yeah, so, yeah, we kind of had been going through a lot of stuff at that time, but realistically looking at the relationship, it wasn't. I just needed comfort at the time and point in my life. So, yeah, she had been doing her own thing, like meeting friends on Instagram and whatnot. So at this point, I wasn't, like, of course, I foreseen our future, but I wasn't really like, oh, I'm gonna step out. It's just, this may be something potential or whatever. So she was in Pittsburgh or something, like, DJing, and she had been like frying me all week. Like, I hadn't talked to her for like 3 days. So then here comes Joshua, and I'm just like, yeah, you know, like, we could be cool, you know, because she already said, like, I don't really care if you get friends or whatever. because she was doing the same thing, like just meeting people off Instagram.
So pause before you continue. So when she finally responded, it was crazy. So I had got in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, she hold me. It's a wrap. Like I literally really wanted her. No, I'm not boosting. Okay, I really
I will
wanted her.
fact check the message.
Anyway, I really wanted her, and she didn't respond. So I started going out on more dates. And old girl, if you're watching this, she can prove it, because she swore up and down like the whole time I was taking her out I had a girlfriend. It's like, no, I didn't have a girlfriend.
We actually didn't get together until like later.
Yeah, you know, it was just I wanted her more than I wanted you, so it was just, and that sounds so arrogant and bold, but it just is what it is. I'm sorry. And I literally, when she finally responded, like me and the girl had probably went on 2 dates, and we were supposed to go on the 3rd one. I literally cut everyone off. I didn't even. She told me she had a girlfriend, and she was just like, yeah, you know, I'm flattered. Well, I forgot what you said, but I have a girlfriend or something like that, but we could be friends. I just knew in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna make her mine, so I'm cutting everybody off. I cut everybody off, and she wasn't even mine. So yeah, I was very determined.
So from that point, me and Joshua have been messaging for a minute, but just like talking back and forth, like casual conversation. It was nothing inappropriate, anything going on.
I was a gentleman.
So what happened? So we would like, you know, just talk, you know, back and forth, just check on one another, like, you know, talk about how each other were doing, and you know, stuff like that. So when my girlfriend at the time came back home from Pittsburgh, it was like a whirlwind of like mess. Mm-hmm. So Joshua at the time being, he was working at this place called Cisco.
Hated.
So he would get up at 4 in the morning.
F you, Cisco.
And he would get up at 4 in the morning to get ready to go to work.
No, I had to be there at 4 in the morning.
Oh, well, yeah.
I was just always late.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. So, what happened? Oh, so the night before he had to go to work, she had came back from Pittsburgh, and you know, I was making dinner and some other stuff, and something happened. One thing I can say about you treat my kids any type of way, it's cut off time for you. So something happened with her and my son, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not liking the way that you're talking to him, so I'm about to get ready to dip. So fast forward, she just ended up putting her hands on me, and I almost like lost my top. Like it was almost.
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail. Period.
But I'm like, yeah, at this point, you know that I have my son with me, and you jeopardize my safety as well as my son's safety. So, fast forward, she wouldn't get out my car. Something happened. It just was a whole bunch of mess. So I didn't end up getting home.
Kelly, you looking ugly on camera. You can't be doing that, baby.
So I didn't end up getting home till about 2 o'clock. And I don't even know why Joshua was up, because he normally didn't even get up till like 3. So then he texted me and was like, good morning. Literally as soon as I pulled up in my driveway, and was like, good morning, you know, asking me how stuff was going or how I was feeling. So then I like vented to him. And he just was like, yeah, you know, like brushed it off like, yeah, you know, you guys work something out, something happened. And I was like, no, at this point it's raps. So fast forward from there.
So I had hit her up, just kind of like normal, but I just woke up a little. I didn't think she was gonna be up, but I was just like, hey, you know, what's up? How you doing? You know, hope you have a good day. Blah blah blah. You know, spitting game.
No.
But you know, and she was just like, yeah, you know, me and you know, so and so. Yeah, we ain't gonna say her name, but you know, we got into it. You know, I'm done with her. Blah 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 blah. So I seen an opportunity, so your boy's an opportunist. I was like, well, son, y'all on the
That is definitely not what happened.
No, but I was just trying to help her out, you know what I'm saying? I offered to take her out on a date, you know, and it was crazy because when we initially went on a date, I wanted to do something different. You know, most people just do like, you know, out to eat and the movie. So I wanted to kind of do something more so like out of the box. So I was just like, yeah, let's meet me in Novi. She was like, okay, bet, you know, it's not too far from where I stay at. So I was like, all right, we going to this thing called the escape room. And so
I had never heard of that before. He said something.
yeah, so she was just kind of like, okay. And so when we went to the escape room, first time initially meeting, I was, you know, I made sure I had, you know, the fresh hair. Oh, speaking of which, you know, got the crispy haircut. You know, I had to get buttered up from the last video.
First of all,
No?
no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, so I got buttered up and everything, had, you know, the J's on, nice little outfit. So I come up to her, so she's like kind of standing in front of the door with her back turned to the door. So literally, I'm like, hey, and when she sees me, she's like, hey, oh.
No, okay, first of all, everybody who knows me knows that I'm like a real, like, I'm not funny acting, but yeah, so for one, I'm like instantly like, bro, who's this touching me? Like,
Yeah. So then it was always like, it's gonna be that kind of date. So I'm like, hey, you know, how you doing? You know, it's good finally to meet you in person. She was like, yeah. I'm just like, damn.
okay,
she
mind
not?
you, this was like the first real date that I ever been on. Like,
She say that, but
realistically, it was like movies don't count. Like somebody actually taking time planning out something. Like this was my first legit date.
and so literally, the people come out. They're like, yeah. So everyone who's here for the insane asylum, walk on in. And so she's like, insane asylum, nigga, what you got me doing?
I'm like, what, bro?
And so I'm like, yeah, come on. So we go in, and all you see is blood over the wall. So she looking like, oh, I am so over this already. And I seen it in her face. I was just like, oh, this date not going good at all. It's not working. So as the time goes on, like, thank God for the people that we had in the asylum with us, because they were way more weirder than what I was. So I was able to make a joke about it. We had one guy walk up to us. He was just like, yeah, man. What did he say? No, he was he said something about doing doing speed
or something.
and so I was just like, oh, you know, because drugs, they're not funny. You know, we don't condone it. We don't think it's funny.
But it's just one of those things, like you said, like you really kind of don't say out in public. So
Yeah, it was just
look
like-
at each other
Like, what?
What?
you know.
And so once again, I'm an opportunist. I seen the opportunity. I'm like, okay, I can turn this date around for, you know, the better. So now I got her laughing. Now she's more interactive with me. More, you know, she's talking more. We're trying to figure out clues on how to escape. Mind you, well, by the way, the asylum is probably the hardest escape room that we did. Like, we didn't even finish it. We gave up. Like, we was just like, well, how much longer we got? You know, so after we left the escape room, you know, everything seemed real good. She was walking on the wrong side of the street, which as a gentleman, you know, you're supposed to walk on the side where the cars are.
And I was like, okay, I see you on to something.
Yeah, so I made sure, and you know, she was just like, oh, okay. So then we got to talking, chopping it up, and of course I asked her about a girlfriend, because you know my sneaky ass, I'm really trying to get on. And so she was just like, yeah, you know, I talked to her, and as soon as she said I talked to her and they was in the car talking, I'm just like, she about to go back to her. I'm so fried. But then she was just like, yeah, it's dead. So I was like, oh, dead, okay.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to take her to Black Rock out in Novi, because she said she ain't really been a lot of places and stuff. And you know, Black Rock, it ain't super fancy, but it's, you know, it's something nice, you know, for a nice little first date. So I took her to Black Rock, and there were no seats available. Like, they didn't have nothing available for probably about an hour. And so if anybody's been, you know, dang, Kelly, why you kicking? So yeah, so I took her to Black Rock, you know, to try and do something nice, and they didn't have any seats available for the time we needed, because this is around the time Avengers Infinity War had came out, and so we wanted to see that movie, you know. They didn't have nothing available, and so it was funny because this is when I got to meet Mia, who she who she was for real. So I guess it was a guy that went to her school that she helped with his home help. Well, actually, babe, you could tell this part better.
Okay, so yeah, so we walk into Black Rock or whatever. So, okay, so for when we all became cool in Calc 1. So then when we got into Calc 2, Calc 2, excuse me, we got real cool. So I'm like, okay, I know what it is or whatever. So he was the host. So I'm like, hey, I remember you from school, but because he wasn't around everybody in our class, he tried to play me like he didn't know me. So I'm like, really? I'm like, from LTU? And I'm like, yeah, you told me how you work at the museum and so on and so forth. And he just was like, no, I don't know you. And I was like, oh. So then I heard him say to another girl, like, yeah, I meet a lot of people at the museum. Like, first of all, fool, you know that you didn't meet me at no museum. We go to the same school. That's definitely what's going on.
We ain't got the sensor thing, so we got to use a hand sensor, so we don't get demonetized.
So, yeah, I don't know what is her word. She acting like she not watching no part for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I just started popping it off. Like, first of all, like, you know who I am. And it's so funny, like, how, because we out here, you gonna try to play me like you don't know who I am, but I definitely helped you with your homework, but okay. So, yeah, Joshua seen me pop it off, and I told Joshua, like, yeah,
I was like, damn!
Excuse me, but yeah, he just made me mad. And then in the back of my head, I'm thinking, like, oh my God, he gonna think I'm crazy because I just popped it off like that.
And I was like, oh my God, she is so crazy. I love it. No, I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, shoot, I would have probably did the same thing. It's just like, bro, if I helped you with your homework, man, like, don't play me like that in public. So anyway, we end up going to the movies. No. Before we went to the movies, because Black Rock didn't have any seats, and my man was acting funny, we was just like, okay, let's go to B-Dubs. B-Dubs is right around the corner. So we get to B-Dubs. They didn't have no seats available. I'm just like, God. So I'm like, dang, this day going terrible. In my head, I'm like, dang, I'm messing up first. I blew the escape room. She probably think I'm stupid because I couldn't get none of the clues and stuff, So I'm just thinking like, man, this date is going terrible. And so we end up just saying, bump it, let's just go to the movies. So we went to the movie just to kind of sit and wait. And we literally was like, and what is that waiting area? Like the lounge area or whatever.
Yeah.
We was just talking like about everything. Like we talked about philosophy, religion, politics, just everything. And like we almost missed the movie because we was just sitting having great conversation. Yeah.
Going.
So it's so funny. So now we get in the movies and we got the. So I'm once again I'm trying to be slick because I'm thinking like I'm Mr. Smooth. I'm like I can go ahead and her real quick, in the cuddle seats. And so we sitting there, my palms all sweaty, and I don't never get nervous. I'm all nervous. I'm like, oh Jesus. So the movie come on, literally, I kid you not, we're in the movie theater. Like let's say if this was the cuddle seat, she's sitting right here, I'm like right here, like this, in the cuddle seat. And so eventually, we get kind of close, but we're like this the whole time, the whole movie.
I mean, I turned a little sideways, like,
dang, kidding me? It's a grown man bird. Yeah. Mwah. So yeah, we were sitting all like, hey. So we were sitting all like close and everything, but we wasn't like holding hands. She didn't lean on me. It was none of that. So in my head, I'm thinking like, oh my God, I just friend zoned myself. And so after the movie is over, after the movie, I'm trying to be a gentleman. So I tell him like, yeah, so I parked over here.
And in my head, I'm thinking like, first of all, I'm walking out, I never been on like real date for real. So at this point, it's a little late. I'm just like, okay, I'm ready to get back home. It's a little cold.
So I'm like, yeah, I parked over here. She's like, okay, gave me the hand and was like,
in my mind, I'm like, what are you telling me that for?
So I'm chasing behind, like, hey, wait, because as a gentleman, I'm trying to walk you to your car. I was just letting you know.
But I was trying to understand why he even told me that he parked all the way opposite, like over there. Like I was about to be like, as how I felt like, I don't know.
So literally, I'm trying to catch. So like, let's say she's right here.
Walking.
I'm literally right here, like, and I'm sprinting trying to get to her. And so eventually I catch up to her, but we at our car now. So I'm like, yeah,
I had already unlocked the door, opened the door to my car, everything.
man, I was like, yeah, so I'll see you later. And so she was like, and gave me that little, she was like, and then gave me this church hug. She was like, I was just like, first thing, and this is wrong, first thing came in my head, I was like, I cut off all my hoes. And for this, I was like, oh, I fried myself. So I go ahead and take my walk of shame to the car. I get back, because at the time I was staying with my mom. And so I get this, like, yeah, just because, beforehand, I was telling everybody about her. Like, she wasn't even my girlfriend. We wasn't talking, nothing. I was literally telling everyone, like, yo, this girl right here, like, she a mechanical engineer, and she's going to be a mechanical engineer. She got her head on straight. That's her real hair, her real edges. Insider. And so, I'm like, man, she got a big booty. I'm like, man, she a whole package, chocolate, nice teeth. So I'm just raving about her, and she not even mine. So when I get to the house, my mom was like, oh my God, so tell me, how did they go? How I was like,
You so ugly.
it go good. It's like, I told you don't wear that stupid jacket. I was like, I know.
And he wore that jacket too. Like after I got to know him, and his sister was like, "Yeah, I told him not to wear that dumb jacket." I was like, I thought he looked dumb too when he took it off.
Yeah. I no longer have the jacket, by the way. So anyway,
You got too buff for it.
yeah, I did. I bulked up a little bit. So literally the next day I go to work. I didn't, because this time I'm thinking it's over. So I didn't.
First of all, let's not talk about how he called me after the day. I was like, yeah, I enjoyed myself. And I was like, yeah, I enjoyed myself too. But we normally talk before we go to sleep. And he just was like, all right, well, I'm about to get ready to go to sleep. So I talked to him in the morning.
Yeah, I just felt defeated. I only called just to see if she was going to answer. She answered, but it was like.
And then on top of that, let's not talk about how in the car on the way back, I called him and told him that a deer jumped out in front of my car.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, you're not going to believe what happened.
Yeah. So I'm in my head, I'm like, yo, I just lost the best thing that could have happened to me. Like, well, at least I have her as a friend. So I'm just like, it ain't a total loss.
From that point, after the date, we eventually end up talking about it and, talking about how nice everything went. And, so then I started coming over his house more, or I came over a couple times. And then the last time I came over, I brought my son over.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kaden walked up to him and hugged him. And I was like...
Yeah, it was weird because she was telling me, like, how Kaden is... he was like, he real funny acting with people. And when I met him, I was like, hey, man, I stuck my hand out to give him, a high five. And he went up and he was just like, hey, and gave me a hug.
Like,
and
Kaden does not do that. So that's why I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah, and you know what? Wendy's, y'all owe us some nuggets.
Yeah, because we just was yapping in the car and we forgot to check the bag for our 4 for 4s when I came over his house, and we did not have.
Nobody had nuggets, not even the baby, and that was the whole reason we went to Wendy's, for his nuggets.
Nuggets, yep, for him.
I was just like, good God.
So then eventually ooh, look, there's a dragonfly. I'm sorry, I had to say that. So while she's biting me. So then eventually he just ended up asking me to be his girlfriend. I was like, and then I don't even know why I said yeah. Like I normally say it's real funny. No, I'm not. I'm not saying it like that. But what I'm saying is it was so early and it was so quick. Like we had only been knowing each other for about like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but...
And I'm the real funny acting kind of person. Like, I'm like, I'm going to date somebody for 6 months. We ain't going to be together. And then you're going to show me your true colors after 6 months. But I don't know why. I was just like, yeah, like, it just feels so right. So, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, that's our story, man, on how we...
Yep, we've been glued to the hip ever since.
Yep, inseparable. You know, we've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. You
Well, I ain't
know,
gonna say a lot of downs. You know,
not between us, but like just life.
Oh
you know?
yeah, because I was gonna say relationship wise.
Now, relationship wise, we don't really.
I mean, we had a lot of getting to know each other.
That's basically our how we met story.
Or how we met, how we got together.
Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification button. Don't dab. Okay, you can.